I was molded into a Yale master's degree holder by my mother's thousands of slaps. On the first day of school, she moved into my dormitory again, but I ended it all with 2 towels. 1. I was never cut out for studying, but my mom refused to admit it. She considered herself smart, just held back by a poor family background. She believed I inherited her intelligence. So, I was supposed to excel academically. But from kindergarten, I lagged behind other kids in everything. A nursery rhyme that took other kids a day to learn took me 3. So, my mom slapped me daily. Eventually, my dad couldn't stand it. He suggested having another child to make up for my lack of smarts. But mom was adamant. She would mold me into success. She wanted to prove to the world that there were no bad students, only bad parents. Thus began my hellish training. It started in 1st grade. Mom said that a slow bird must start flying early, cutting my sleep time to cram study sessions. I went to bed at 11 p.m. and got up at 6 a.m. If I nodded off, she'd slap me. Under her regimen, I got used to little sleep. But in class, I couldn't help yawning. The teacher reported this to my mom. Mom decided to sit in my class for a week. She brought a steel needle with her. Every time I nodded off, she'd poke my leg. By the end of the week, my legs were punctured and bloody. But I stopped dozing off. Mom was thrilled. The teacher, not knowing the truth, asked her for tips to share with other parents. When mom showed the bloody needle, the teacher was speechless. That semester, I got perfect scores in math and English. Mom proudly took photos of the test papers and shared them to the families. She told me, show them there are no dumb kids, just parents who don't know how to teach. Seeing her so happy, I asked if I could sleep early during the break. She coldly replied, 1 set of perfect scores and you're getting lazy? Maybe I haven't been hitting you hard enough. From then on, I learned to keep my mouth shut. 2. That perfect score gave my mom a new purpose in life. She became a firm believer in spare the rod, spoil the child. Every day, she used her limited knowledge to tutor me. She didn't just demand high scores on finals, but also on every small quiz. Whenever my grades dipped, she would storm to school, demanding answers from the teachers. In 5th grade, my homeroom teacher mistakenly marked one of my test answers wrong, costing me a point. That night, mom found out and went ballistic. The next day, she dragged the teacher to the principal's office and yelled, "Is this because we didn't give you gifts? Are you deliberately picking on my Mary?" I felt terrible because my teacher had always been kind to me. I tugged on mom's sleeve. "Mom, please, miss. Lorraine is good to me. She even gives me snacks." Mom slapped me and said, "She's supposed to be good to you. Your grades make her look good." The teacher, who was pregnant, apologized, explaining her mistake was due to her condition. Mom exploded, "You're pregnant? These kids are in 5th grade. How dare you get pregnant now? If you leave, my daughter will have to adapt to a new teacher, affecting her entrance exams." Mom demanded the teacher get an abortion. She rallied other parents to pressure the principal. The teacher, stressed, eventually miscarried. Mom showed no remorse and bragged among the parents, "Now we won't need to change teachers. You should all thank me." Some parents couldn't stand her attitude and said she caused a tragedy. Mom shot back, "Don't you get it? Survival of the fittest. If the baby couldn't handle a bit of stress, it wasn't meant to be." However, mom didn't get her way. The principal replaced the teacher anyway. Mom took the fight to the education bureau. The officer said the teacher's health couldn't handle frontline teaching anymore. Mom finally backed down, but parents turned on her, saying she did something that hurt everyone. Mom retorted, "A miscarriage ruins her ability to teach? I don't buy it. The principal's just covering for her. Who knows what kind of shady relationship they have." 3. Because of me, my classmates lost the homeroom teacher who had been with us for 5 years. Due to warnings from their parents, they all started avoiding me. I was isolated, and my grades slipped. In the final exams that year, I scored 98 in English and only 92 in math. When my mom saw the report card, she slapped me 10 times and kicked me a few more for good measure. Then she took the report card to confront the new teacher, demanding how I, a straight A student, could end up like this. That day, my dad stopped her. "Can you stop embarrassing yourself? Have you ever considered that Mary's declining grades might be your fault?" My mom went ballistic. "How could it be my fault? I stay up late with her every night, spend all our money on study materials and fish oil. If her grades are bad, it's either her laziness or the teacher's bias." Dad, shaking his head in disappointment, let go of her. "Let's get a divorce." Dad said he'd had enough of watching mom abuse me and living in chaos. He wanted to take me away. Mom refused. "I've almost turned Mary into a success. You can't take my achievement." That night, Dad patted my head, tears falling, left the house and our only $2,000 savings behind. He didn't look back. I thought mom would stop him. She didn't. She just watched me redo every wrong problem 20 times, then angrily told me, "Your dad left because of you. From now on, you must study hard to make up for the pain you've caused me." That day, my heart felt like it was being crushed by a boulder. I could barely breathe. I didn't sleep that night. Early the next morning, mom dragged me up. She took the $2,000 and enrolled me in math and English classes, starting with 7th grade material. A slow bird has to start early. If you don't learn middle school subjects now, you'll fall behind after the entrance exams. It was as if she turned the pain of divorce into an invisible whip. Only by pushing me to study relentlessly could she escape her own agony. From that day on, my sleep was further cut. I went to bed at 11 p.m. and woke up at 5 a.m. Mom said I needed to get used to this schedule for middle school. Maybe guilt from my parents' divorce weighed on me. Maybe years of her beatings had worn down my spirit. From that day, I shut myself off. Apart from basic needs, my life was nothing but study. A year later, I aced every subject and got into the top middle school in our area. 4. I joined the advanced class. All the students were new faces. This was a relief, because no one knew about my mom's past actions, and I wouldn't be isolated. I made 2 good friends. Like other kids, we would go to the restroom together and fool around during breaks. I even started to like school and dreaded the end of day bell. In middle school, the restaurant where mom worked was constantly talking about layoffs. To keep her job, she stopped taking time off to pick me up. So after school, I'd hang out by the school gate with my friends, looking at the ducklings for sale. My friends bought them, but I knew mom wouldn't agree, so I just watched. One day, as I was playing with a duckling in my hand, someone yanked my hair. I yelped in pain. Mom let go and slapped me twice. Mary Dickinson, I've been watching you. Instead of going home to study, you waste time playing with these little creatures. My friends hugged me and defended me. Mrs. Dickinson, the ducklings are cute. Mary really likes them. If you buy her one, she won't stop here anymore. Mom dragged me away and yelled at my friends. Mary used to be obedient. You two must be a bad influence. Then she kicked over the duck seller's stand. In the chaos, several ducklings got crushed. Their tiny bodies twitched on the ground. Many girls cried out of pity. The vendor grabbed mom's hand, demanding compensation. Instead, mom called the city management. The vendor, unable to do anything, packed up while cursing. Mom went on to ask the security guard for the disciplinary office's number, insisting the school clean up its surroundings. After that day, the area around the school became very quiet. No more ducklings, no more favorite snacks, not even the water vending trucks. I became infamous. They called me Mary the Duck Killer. I was isolated again. Mom was thrilled when she heard. She said, no friends means no distractions from studying. But she didn't realize my classmates were no longer little kids. Some had learned to bully. Daily, I found insects in my pencil case and got splashed with dirty water and rotten eggs. I became the school joke. My initial love for school turned into dread. I couldn't sleep, and my hair fell out in clumps. I sought help from the school counselor. The counselor called mom, suggesting I see a therapist. I got 5 or 6 slaps outside the office. Mom said I was faking it to avoid studying. Mary Dickinson, you just need a good beating. I couldn't resist. The day before, mom had told me she lost her job. Someone had posted a video of her outburst at the school gate online. The boss fired her. Mom cried, because of you, your dad divorced me. Now I lost my job because of you. Mary Dickinson, do I owe you something? Living inside me for 10 months wasn't enough? You want to destroy me? She made me swear to study hard and get into a top university to repay her. I agreed. Mom never took me to see a therapist. I gradually adapted to insomnia. When I couldn't sleep, I memorized my notes with my eyes closed. It paid off. That year, I ranked first in my grade. 5. In the 3rd year of middle school, a new boy transferred to our class. He was smart, always cheerful, and bright like a spring breeze. He became my deskmate, and gradually, I started to like him. One day, he brought me a cage with 2 little rabbits. He said that animals could heal the soul. Mary, you look beautiful when you smile. You should smile more. Looking at the rabbits, I remembered the ducklings mom had crushed. Then, my 2 former friends came over and said, giving these little things to Mary will just get them crushed by her mom. I don't know where I found the courage, but I grabbed the cage and said, no, I will take good care of him. All day, I thought about how to explain to mom. Just before school ended, I had an idea. I called dad and asked for his help. I heard a baby crying in the background. He agreed. I was thrilled and boldly took the cage home. I told mom it was a gift from dad for both of us. Mom was suspicious, but after confirming with dad, she accepted it. The rabbits were placed on the balcony. Watching them brought a bit of sunshine into my dark life. During the New Year's holiday, my deskmate and I represented the school in a provincial physics competition. He won first place. I got second. We were overjoyed and returned to the city. I ran to mom with my certificate. Mom glanced at it. In front of the school leaders, teachers, and my deskmate, she slapped me twice with the certificate. Everyone was stunned. She grabbed my collar and demanded, why is he first and you second? Then, she attacked my deskmate, leaving 2 bloody scratches on his neck. You little thug, giving my daughter rabbits to distract her from her studies.